At 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
He was behind a barbershop attack. Tonight at 6, a guilty plea in a nearly 4-year-old murder case.
Today at the Bexar County Courthouse, this man, Damian Campbell, took a plea deal for stabbing someone to death and attacking 2 others at a barbershop on the west side.
In 2020 CR 7363, Mr. Campbell, to the offense of murder alleged as a first-degree felony. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Back on May 6, 2020, Campbell walked into Diesel Barbershop on Bandera Road during closing and asked to set up a future appointment. At some point while he was in that shop, he stabbed 20-year-old Helly J. O'Regan and attacked 2 other employees. O'Regan died at the hospital from her injuries.
Campbell's attorneys previously told KSAT they filed a notice to the court for an insanity defense. Then in October of last year, Campbell found competent to stand trial. He's scheduled to be sentenced on March 18th. He faces up to 42 years in prison.
Tonight, San Antonio police are still looking for the driver who officers say caused a fiery crash that killed a woman. This happened on Highway 281 near Northwest 410 about 3 o'clock this morning. SAPD says that 76-year-old Eden Nuval was hit head on by someone driving a Ford Bronco while on the ramp. The impact caused Nuval's car to hit the barrier and roll over. Police say the person driving that Bronco took off before their car could catch fire. The driver of the Bronco has not been found.
A San Antonio Fire Department cadet has been fired after Chavano Park police say he choked a woman and attempted to sexually assault her in the back of a vehicle in late January. John Estrada taken into custody on January 30th while at the San Antonio Fire Academy on Callahan Road. An SAFD spokesman confirms Estrada has been terminated. According to charging paperwork, Estrada faces charges of family violence, strangulation, attempted sexual assault, and unlawful restraint.
San Antonio Mayor Ron Nierenberg says the city will look into a plan B to keep the Migrant Resource Center up and running. Nierenberg says the federal government funds that facility, but he only says that money lasts so long. The mayor met with President Biden yesterday to talk about the impact of the migrant crisis on the Alamo City. Like the president, the mayor is pushing for Congress to act on the bipartisan border bill.
And we need them to hear our local voices to bring that piece of legislation to a vote and to pass that bill that would provide relief to all communities and provide immigration reform that this country needs.
The Migrant Resource Center has been operating since the summer of 2021. The city opened it as a temporary resource.
After a high-profile border visit yesterday, some are asking, what's next? Well, there are potential policy changes in the near future. An administration official says President Joe Biden's been considering executive actions to restrict asylum seekers. But the president says what he really wants is the House to pass the Senate's bipartisan immigration bill. But back in Texas, many people who live along the border say the migrant crisis isn't about party politics.
It's got to stop. It's got to come to an end.
If we're still going to be on opposite extremes, that the Republicans want it my way or the highway and the Democrats are the same way, we're not going to get anywhere.
Meanwhile, Governor Greg Abbott says the state will appeal yesterday's ruling that blocks the state from using some of the governor's ideas on immigration control. It was passed by the Texas legislature.
Tonight, we are learning another person has died in the wildfires out in the Panhandle.
Yeah, the Smokehouse Creek fire claiming the life of this woman, 44-year-old Cindy Owen. Owen's family says she was working in the area when those fires swept through. The fire continues to tear across that region for a 4th day. The flames now spilling into Oklahoma.
The Smokehouse Creek fire has burned more than 1 million acres so far, and as of this morning, it was only 15% contained. Today, Governor Greg Abbott traveled to the Panhandle to get an update on this situation. Ranchers there are struggling as flames continue to scorch their land.
When you look at the damages that have occurred here, it's just gone, completely gone. Nothing left but ashes on the ground.
We kind of snuck through some ranches to drive up here and see it gone.
Obviously emotional. You know, Adam, one thing we've been hearing is the high winds making it tough to battle this fire. number of fires. Is the Panhandle expecting similar conditions this weekend? I mean, it seems to me like it's always windy in the Panhandle.
Well, it is, and it's often very dry, and they still have very high fire risk conditions, according to the Texas A&M Forest Service, Texas Forest Service. I'm going to get to that map in a moment. First, I want to show you a satellite comparison from NASA here. San Antonio, right down here in the bottom part of your screen, just to give you an idea of where we are. I'm going to zoom right in onto the Panhandle. You see Amarillo. Now, this was before the burns, okay? As I slide across, you can see the burn scar right there from space. Look at that. This is today. Because of the clear sky, the satellites had a good view of the ground and gave us this imagery. But look at that difference there. Tragic, of course. Over 1 million acres burned here in this fire, and that burn scar that you can see from space. As we go into tomorrow, the fire danger is still very high up in the Panhandle. Around here, it's even in the moderate category because of our conditions. I don't anticipate any issues around here, but unfortunately, it's not really improving significantly. We're not looking at any big surge of moisture or rain event moving into the Panhandle. We'll talk about our spring-like conditions in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. It is the end of an era. The only sugar mill in the state of Texas is now shutting down. The Texas Farm Bureau tells us that the Rio Grande Valley sugar growers made that decision to close the facility because they just don't have enough water to keep the crops alive.
Yeah, the Bureau blames the ongoing water issues with Mexico under a treaty dating back to 1944. As Max Massey reports, the Bureau says this closure will cost hundreds of jobs and hundreds of millions of dollars for the Texas economy.
The only sugar mill that is in the state of Texas or was in the state of Texas is now closed, unfortunately, after 51 years.
Brian Jones is a Texas farmer, and he knows firsthand how tough this can be without water.
Normally, I grow a large amount of irrigated corn acres. I have 0 this year. I'm not planting any corn because I don't have the water.
Brian tells me that he blames this lack of water on the U.S. State Department not fulfilling their obligations of a decades-long agreement with Mexico, the 1944 Water Treaty.
In 1944, when this treaty was signed and put together, Mexico had 3 dams on those 6 tributaries. Now they have 11. And so they've increased, they've added 8 dams since then, thereby slowing down or completely stopping a lot of the inflows that's come into the United States.
With the lack of water and the closure of the sugar mill, there comes real economic ramifications.
Just dealing with the sugar mill alone, it's up to, they had 250 full-time employees. Those jobs are now gone.
On top of the hundreds of jobs lost, Brian tells me the community is also losing hundreds of millions of dollars.
The sugar industry contributed about $100 million directly into the local economy, and they say those dollars turn over about 3 times. So you're looking at a $300 million impact to the Rio Grande Valley.
And even though this marks the end of Texas sugar,
the sugar industry is lost. The sugar industry will never come back to Texas or South Texas.
Brian fears that if this lack of water continues, tens of thousands of acres of fruits and vegetables, they're also at risk.
A lot of those crops are being impacted. They're not completely shut down, but a lot of the acreage has decreased. The citrus is another huge crop that's grown in the Rio Grande Valley, and they're probably the next industry that's teetering right now.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
Now take a look at this. According to the National Weather Service, over the past 2 years, the amount of rainfall in that area has been below average. It's something the ag community is keeping a close eye on.
Check out traffic right now. Let's go to I-35 at Loop 410. It's on the north side, and you can see traffic northbound very slow going at this hour. Now, you might run into road closures again, something we seem to be dealing with every weekend. RJ Marquez has details on the detours you need to know about on this Friday.
All right, we're getting ready for not only one, but 2 rounds of major closures this weekend on the north side and northwest side. So let's break it all down for you. Again, this is starting at Friday 9 p.m. and going through Monday, 5 a.m. So we're taking a look here, 1604 in both directions. You will not be able to get onto I-10 from 1604 in both directions here. That's going to be a shutdown here from La Cantera Parkway all the way to Vance Jackson as they shut down a couple of the cloverleafs in that area as well. Let's go a little bit further east here, and we're taking a look at this other major closure. This is going to be affecting both lanes east and west of 1604, basically from Stone Oak Parkway all the way to Northwest Military. We have some drone video that we shot the other day of some of the construction taking place out there at Blanco and Bitters. So biggest thing to know is that if you're coming in 1604 west from Blanco to Bitters, that will be shut down, and in the opposite direction, 1604 east from Bitters to Stone Oak Parkway, that will be shut down there as well. So this is around the 1604 Huebner area, HEB, Target, a lot of people use this area out there. So let's come back out to maps here real quick. KSAT is going to be doing what they call a traffic switch. So they're going to be redirecting traffic to the newer lanes that they are building out there, and in the future this will be a 10-lane highway out there at 1604. But for the current, we have to just kind of bear what we're going to be looking at. Hopefully they open all of this stuff up by Monday at 5 a.m. Make sure to be safe out there and have a good one, everybody.
The site is designed with spaces that can help accommodate the needs of educators.
Coming up in our next half hour, another option for parents looking for childcare on the southeast side. How part of this new center will cater to infants and toddlers.
But after the break, the city's archives that document the history of the Alamo City, they date back more than 200 years, but the majority of them are still on paper. Coming up, how long the city clerk says they need to digitize all of this.
And let's take a quick look outside with live cam. More spring-like weather on the way. What's in store for the weekend? Meteorologist Adam Caskey has your full forecast right after the break.
Road construction along I-10 in 1604 is keeping drivers away, including paying customers, and it's impacting businesses like these. On the Night Beat, we're going to take a look at how much longer those weekend closures are set to last.
In San Antonio, the city could soon update fire and property code. So coming up tonight on the Night Beat, we're breaking down that council consideration request and showing you how this conversation all started.
The Creative Youth Arts Program is celebrating 30 years of giving back to the community, but now they're faced with a financial struggle. Tonight on the Night Beat, we hear from SACY's executive director and how you can help.
Well, we may live in a digital age, but most of our history, it's written by hand. And the records that chronicle centuries of San Antonio's history are aging.
Yeah, the city is trying to preserve them for the future and make them easier for everyone to access digitally. But the city clerk tells our Garrett Berger they need help to make that future a reality.
San Antonio's history goes back to the 1700s, and the city has documents dating back more than 250 years, most of which are not digitized.
These are the records of births and deaths, of city business, laws, and maps, even if those maps don't reflect every important claim.
What is it showing down here?
Brackenridge Park.
So we can see who staked out their campsite for Easter on here. Is that what these claims are on?
But every document reveals something about the story of San Antonio, which is still being written today.
So it just gives you that history and makes you feel connected to the place that you live in.
But for the researchers, engineers, and others who use the archives, getting to and through these records comes with hurdles.
So it's not that easy to find something on a shelf and then to open the book and look through it and find an exact page.
The city has an ongoing plan to digitize the whole archive and at the same time better protect the original documents.
They put it in one of these sleeves, and this preserves it.
But that plan could take a chunk of history itself. With the current annual funding of $100,000, the city clerk says it would take another 6 decades for their vendor to finish the work.
So in 60 years, I don't know how this stuff would even look. It might not even be, it might have disintegrated.
She's asked City Council to consider kicking in a lot more, $1.3 million a year, which she says is enough to finish preserving and digitizing the records in 5 years instead of 60. San Antonians, she says, want to know their city's history.
You may even be a person that comes back and says, hey, what happened in this council meeting 20, 30 years ago? Well, if we don't preserve that, really old stuff, you won't have that.
Funding will be up to council members when they take up the budget this summer and fall. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
I find that fascinating. You never think about hundreds of years of history, where it is, what it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
It's fascinating, but if $1 million a year for 5 years, that's a lot of money. I mean, there's got to be
fascinating, but needs some funding.
going to be a happy medium there somewhere.
I mean, the media is always changing too. You have obsolescence, right? Say you put things on a bunch of DVDs years ago. Well, it's harder to find DVD players, and all this conversion. We're always going to face that.
Whoa. DVDs are going out?
Well, for some, not everybody. I just got my HD DVD player.
Next, you're going to tell me Blu-ray's out.
Blu-ray. I haven't heard that in a while.
I still have 2 VCRs. I don't use them, but I have them. I don't even think I can plug them into a TV. All right, let's get right to our temperature trend. And notice that we're going to be very spring-like. Today, we were just barely 70 degrees. Tomorrow, we'll be up to 80 for the high temperature. And notice that we're going to be on cruise control there, basically, through the weekend and into next week. Just some minor fluctuations, give or take a few degrees, but well, that's a few degrees amongst friends. You're not going to notice much of a change out there. February is done with. And overall, temperature-wise, I thought Myra was clapping. I was like, what was wrong with February, Myra? She was doing this. I couldn't see her. I just heard. I was like, sorry, I hope March is much better. We were nearly 4 degrees above average. The warmest temperature, 77. The coolest was a brief light freeze. As for precipitation and rainfall, in February, we had 0.87 inches of rain, not much, and that's 0.87 below average. And coming up at 6:45, we'll take a look at meteorological winter as a whole and compare it to average, because remember, we classify winter meteorologically as December, January, and February. We'll see if El Nino really did give us that colder than average winter with above average precip. We'll dive into that later at 6:45. But speaking of rain chances, we need more rain. Rain chances are back in the picture by Monday. I still have that at 40%, so some scattered activity. Most of us probably won't get it, but I do anticipate some thunderstorms to start popping up and be scattered across the south central Texas landscape Monday afternoon into Monday night. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're at 20%, just isolated activity each one of those days. Here's a look at the satellite and radar right now. Now, this one doesn't have the resolution to see the burn scar up in the Texas Panhandle, but that was some interesting imagery. It was hard for me to believe at first. That's why I had to make that comparison and go back in time. But we can see the clouds and rain on the East Coast and the clouds, rain, and snow in the West Coast and over the Rockies. And I mean, they're measuring the snow in feet in parts of the higher elevations of California. Not just 1, 2, 3, 4 feet, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 feet of snow from this atmospheric river that's coming on shore. I wish we could get an atmospheric river. We just don't get them around here. Most of the thick moisture gets scrubbed out over the mountains in Mexico, so we don't get that deep kind of moisture from atmospheric rivers like they get in California. And you notice I'm stalling because my clicker won't change the map behind me as I keep talking. We're gonna go the old-fashioned way. Yeah, off, on. All right. It comes down to spacebar. Let's just move on past this. Here we go. All right. Upper level energy. Let's talk about that because we will get some coming in on Monday. That's the upper level energy is indicated by that reddish orange color and a little dip in the upper level flow. That's why we enhance those storm chances a little bit on Monday. But still, the vast majority of the precip over the next 7 days outside of our area. 46 this morning, 71 was the high temperature. Very seasonable day, right near average. We're going to skip ahead to our weekend weather here. Who needs a clicker anyway? We can do this the old-fashioned way. 51 in the morning tomorrow with fog, 80 by the afternoon. And then as we get into Sunday, very similar. I just think the fog will be more widespread and more dense, and then fairly gray afternoon on Sunday, but still not far from 80, and into next week, some warmer mornings.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
I'm going to turn off and on. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, good. When a guy who's 7'4" asks for the mic, you give him the mic, Mary.
And you let him say whatever he wants to say, even if there's a bad word in
Even if you have to bleep something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's worth it because Wemby is Wemby. Victor Wembanyama took the mic and he dazzled the home crowd with some heartfelt words, leaving Spurs fans smiling. And local football star Millard Bradford takes on defensive backs and tight ends day at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. How he's performing after the break.
I missed it. I love it. I missed it. Enjoying the game and winning back from the road trip with more than 16,000 people that I love. That's feeling. Hey, tailgate, go Spurs, go. 1, 2, 3, go Spurs, go.
Not sure what was better in that moment, the win, Victor Wembanyama's speech, or David Robinson being front and center for it all. The Spurs' magical night inside Frostbank Center in Big Board Sports. Last night, the San Antonio Spurs delivered one of their best games of the season against Oklahoma City in their long-awaited return home from the near month-long rodeo road trip. San Antonio played well as a team, and it paid off. The Spurs shot a near 50% from long range and accumulated a season-high 39 assists in the 132-118 victory against one of the top teams in the West. After the game, Wembanyama was asked if he regretted dropping a curse word in his post-game interview and his mindset when the rookie shot back-to-back three-pointers in crunch time.
No, I'm still not used to the standards here, but I'm adjusting. I'm not regretting it. It's a lot of mental, and Kobe. He said, to win the game, he mostly takes the shots, big shots, because they don't call it any fouls. So it's not as much the physical battle, even though in defense it's 90% effort, but offensively it's a lot of mental.
Wemby benefiting greatly from the Mamba mentality. San Antonio also protected the ball well and refused to let turnovers get the best of them again, cutting that statistic in half from their previous outing against Minnesota.
Last game was rough on our team and me personally. And so knowing that, this team likes to pressure the ball, forces a lot of turnovers, it's a top team in the NBA right now. We knew that, if we took care of the ball, we'd have a much better chance of winning the game. I think last time we played them, they had 30-something points off of turnovers, and, when a team does that, it's tough to win a game.
The Spurs are back in action this Sunday against the Pacers. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock. Well, O'Connor High School grad and TCU alum Millard Bradford has impressed so far this afternoon at the 2024 NFL Scouting Combine. The defensive back ran a 4.42 in the 40-yard dash, which was good enough to finish amongst the top 10 DBs. He also got up to 38.5 inches in his vertical jump. Bradford recorded 50-plus tackles in each of his last 3 seasons at TCU, and now is his opportunity to get noticed by an NFL team. Exciting stuff for him.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
After the break, how an upcoming National Women's Conference is aiming to change some things, including an ongoing gender pay gap. Access to high quality and affordable childcare is difficult to find in this Southeast community, but a new center hopes to change that.
Tonight, our Tiffany Huertas gives us a new look at the new site that will support young learners' growth and development.
The site is designed with spaces that can help accommodate the needs of educators.
The new Pre-K for SA South Education Center will also have colorful spaces, activity areas, and interactive hallways. Construction is already underway.
We're going to have infant and toddler classrooms, which we've never had before.
The new facility is located near East South Cross and South WW White Road.
What can you tell us about this community and why this is so important here?
Well, we were lucky enough to partner with Peter Holt, who generously donated the land for the site. So that's really an important piece in that. But it was located in the area where we were looking to build a site because we know this is a childcare desert.
Pre-K for SA has another South Education Center located near Southeast Military Drive and South New Braunfels Avenue. but this new facility will replace it.
Pre-K for SA, we have 4 of our own schools, plus we operate the Gardendale Early Learning Program in the Edgewood School District. But we partner with over 100 different providers throughout the city to help them deliver high-quality early learning in a variety of different settings.
Beret says data collected at Pre-K for SA shows their programs have not only impacted children, but the lives of their families.
One study showed that families who participate in Pre-K for SA's extended day program, which is for families who work full-time or are going to school, earned about $15,000 more a year just from having access to that program. So it's having a big impact on the current workforce, but also the workforce of the future.
Beret says they hope to open this new center for the 2025-2026 school year. Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
The people who test positive for COVID-19 no longer need to isolate from others for at least 5 days. That's according to new guidelines issued Friday from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The agency said it's updating its recommendations for COVID-19 to bring them more in line with its advice for other kinds of respiratory infections like influenza and RSV. The idea is that a single set of unified guidance will make people more likely to follow. The CDC now says people who have COVID-19 should stay home until they've been fever-free without medication for at least 24 hours and their symptoms are improving.
Boeing has agreed to pay out $51 million for violating export rules related to military technology. According to a complaint, between 2013 and 2017, 3 Boeing employees in China allegedly downloaded sensitive information more than 24 times. The documents included information on 2 varieties of air-to-ground missiles and 3 separate models of fighter jets. Boeing also says there were 80 more unauthorized downloads of data that required protection by workers and contractors in 18 countries. Overall, the State Department says that Boeing committed 199 violations of the Arms Export Control Act.
Not only is it Friday, today also kicks off Women's History Month.
And what better way to mark that occasion than to tell you about an upcoming event designed to help women succeed in their careers. Our Stefania Jimenez tells us about the National Conference for Women.
Mark your calendars. On March 14th, tens of thousands of women across the nation will come together online for the largest network of women's conferences in the nation. It's called the National Conference for Women. Think of it as a giant networking event. Women in different careers will connect and share advice.
My goal is to reach as many women as we can, because I think women need to hear stories. They need to hear topic areas. They need to hear how to address the concerns that they're facing every day in the office, and they need some practical advice to be able to go do that.
Tamara Fields is a board member of the Texas Conference for Women. Every year, more than 55,000 women attend one of 4 separate conferences for women, but in 2024, all 4 are merging. Tamara says that will benefit more women.
It's been proven through the years. If you think about the Harvard Business Review, the impact of conferences on women. Women's likelihood of receiving a promotion is doubled when they've attended a conference. And in addition to that, the likelihood of receiving a pay increase triples.
That's important considering there's still a gender pay gap. The Pew Research Center says women only make up about 1/3 of workers in the country's 10 highest paying jobs. Although that's up 13% from 1980, still not quite 50-50.
The biggest obstacle that we have is moving up the career ladder and really owning our voice and owning our story, owning our history, and saying, yes, give me a chance. I deserve this, and this is why.
Tamara says women of all ages and stages in their careers are welcome to the conference, and that invitation also extends to men.
How do you make change if part of the change is the people you need don't attend, right? You just talking about it among yourself doesn't actually facilitate change. You need change makers, and men are change makers along with you. So we often talk about allyship.
We have a link for ticket information on our website, KSAT.com. Stefania Jimenez, KSAT 12 News.
Up next, many people in Texas struggle with spring allergies, and even if you try to stay inside, you may still have to deal with the symptoms. We're going to tell you how you can keep breathing easy indoors after the break. Nobody wants to breathe in dry, dirty, polluted air, and then there are the allergens, the dreaded yellowy green oak pollen right around the corner.
Yes, it is. Air purifiers and humidifiers might help. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has information to help you breathe easier.
Your home may be nice and cozy, but when the air is dry, it can be uncomfortable.
A humidifier can help keep the air inside of your home at a comfortable level. However, a humidifier that isn't cleaned properly can produce mold spores.
Some mold can even cause flu-like symptoms, skin rashes, and irritate your eyes and lungs. To keep your humidifier fresh, follow the manufacturer's instructions for maintenance. But here are some general guidelines. Every day, rinse it, towel dry the tank, and fill with clean water. Every week, give it a deep cleaning with vinegar and replace the filter according to the manual. Newer, more tightly sealed home construction improves energy efficiency, but it also keeps fresh air out. Consumer Reports says that can be a potential problem with indoor air pollutants from sources like gas stoves, cleaning agents, pesticides, and aerosols.
In addition to humidifiers, people also use air purifiers to reduce allergens and indoor pollutants. So it's a good idea to keep these well maintained.
You can also improve indoor air quality by vacuuming regularly, limiting indoor smoke, and occasionally letting fresh air in. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, and we were just talking about the oak pollen. It's coming, or is it already here?
No, it's here. It's just on the low end right now. And I'll have another look at the pollen count in a bit, but molds are moderate. We've got mulberry, elm, hackberry, and ash all on the low end. But remember, this is just the beginning of pollen season, especially oak, the infamous oak. Typically peaks as we get into April, so get ready for it. All right, we'll take a closer look at the pollen count and talk more about our winter, meteorological winter, which has come to an end in just a bit.
Today, a man charged in a deadly attack at a barber shop nearly 4 years ago has taken a plea deal. Damian Campbell is now facing 42 years in prison for stabbing and killing 20-year-old Helly J. O'Regan. The attack happened in May of 2020 at the Diesel Barber Shop on Bandera Road. Campbell is scheduled to be sentenced March 18th.
The San Antonio police still looking for the driver who officers say caused this. The fiery crash that killed a woman. It happened on Highway 281 near Northwest Loop 410. SAPD says 76-year-old Eden Nuval was killed when a Ford Bronco hit her head on. Officers say the driver of the Bronco left the area after the crash. They have not been found.
The Smokehouse Creek fire in the Texas Panhandle has killed a second person. 44-year-old Cindy Owen was working as a truck driver. So far, the fire has burned over 1 million acres. At last check, the blaze was only 15% contained. Wildfires in the Panhandle are also now starting to spread to Oklahoma. And that's your 60-second recap.
All right, you hit it right on the head, Adam, when you talked about the big turnaround from yesterday to today. I mean, it's a beautiful Friday.
Yesterday's kind of a distant memory now, right? When you have a day like today, it's like, oh, wait, what happened yesterday? Oh, it was in the 40s all day? We went from 46 in the morning to 48 in the afternoon. Don't even remember. But yes, yesterday we couldn't even hit 50. Today, we made it back to 70. I want to talk about that pollen count again. There are those molds at moderate levels: mulberry, elm, hackberry, ash, and oak. In the low range, but they will be climbing. Each of them will have their day or days to shine. And for oak, it's typically early April. I talk about oak pollen with great disdain. That is my biggest culprit personally, and I park underneath like 4 oak trees. So you can imagine what it does. Got to take the blower out there every morning, get rid of all the pollen and the catkins and everything. But hey, just part of nature, part of life. Got to deal with it. And that's what we do. Let's talk about meteorological winter that came to an end. Remember, we classify officially our seasons by months. December, January, February, that is winter, meteorologically speaking. Rain, we had 8.7 inches total at the airport. That's 1 inch above average. So we actually were a little above average because January was good to us when it comes to rainfall. The temperature, though, was well above average, 3.6 degrees above average for this winter time. And some other tidbits here. The warmest was 87 on February 22nd. The coldest we got this winter was 18. That was January 17th. Now, I know El Nino patterns can tip the scale a little bit in favor of a colder and wetter winter. I just don't think that totally verified. We did get some good precip and we're a little above average, but temperatures were way above average as well. Other parts of Texas got better rain than we did. Well, that was the case for several months. Smokehouse Creek fire. About 1.1 million acres now burned, unfortunately, and only 15% contained. And the fire risk, weather-wise, going into the weekend is still very high up in the Texas Panhandle. This surpasses the East Amarillo Complex fire that was back in March of 2006. Now is the largest Texas wildfire on record. Rain on the East Coast. Rain and high elevation snow on the West Coast. Big pinwheeling system moving into the Pacific Northwest. I wish that was going to dig into Mexico and give us some of this energy you see here. We're just going to have lighter little bits of energy moving through our upper level flow coming in from the Pacific, and a little dip, a little shortwave, little ripple in the flow that could help enhance lift to help get a few showers and storms going by Monday. That's at 40%. I don't see any shot at precip this weekend other than misty drizzle and fog in the morning, but that's about it. And then we're in a more spring-like pattern next week where we have those daily storm chances. They're not big, but some isolated pop-up afternoon showers every day, possibly in a few locations, pretty much every day next week. Temperature-wise right now, 70s for most of Texas. We're creeping down into the 60s where the clouds held tight for longer. We're in the 60s, but 72 Los Maples, 71 Uvalde, 69 officially at the airport tomorrow morning, right near 50 degrees, but we'll be in the mid-40s outside of Bexar County. Hondo 45 along with Bandera, 47 Bernie, Seguin at 49. And then by tomorrow afternoon, right near 80 degrees, Seguin 79, Utopia at 82, and Poteet, high temperature of 81. Similar conditions Saturday and Sunday, at least in terms of how it feels outside, but you will notice a little more cloud cover on Sunday. Morning fog both days. I just think it'll be a bit thicker and more widespread on Sunday, and then still fairly gray into the afternoon. Also, the humidity turns up a little bit by Sunday. Right now, you don't feel any mugginess in the air. Nice crisp air, dew points in the 40s. By Sunday, later in the day, dew points then back near 60, and then next week those dew points are in the low to mid 60s. But remember, it's that time of year where we start to feel that humidity again, and it takes that humidity to make rain.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, we're going to talk about blossoms coming up in the Buzz.
One Iowa woman is celebrating her 102nd birthday by giving gifts to other people. Trudy Handelman of Bettendorf, Iowa, asked for 102 canned goods for an area food pantry for her birthday. Even though her big day isn't until March 5th, Handelman's birthday wish has already come true with more than 150 food items collected.
Love this idea. The staff at the Quartet Senior Living Center, where Handelman lives, will deliver the food in her name next week. She says she and her relatives will have a family dinner on her birthday. She'll also have cake and punch with her fellow residents at the living facility.
That is a very cool idea.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah.
The term roadside delivery kind of took on a different meaning for one Kansas family. The Miami, Kansas County Sheriff's Office says its deputies responded to a medical call on a highway ramp early Tuesday morning.
When the deputies got there, they found a father who had just delivered his own baby in the front seat of the car. Deputies helped the parents use medical equipment until EMS and fire crews arrived, and both mom and baby are doing well.
Yeah, forget merging. That baby emerged. All right, the cherry blossom trees in Washington, D.C. are expected to bloom in a few weeks, and one special tree used to predict when that would happen. It's called the indicator tree. The National Park Service says the tree tends to run about 2 weeks or so ahead of the rest of the Yoshino cherry trees.
Now, right now it's in stage 3, which is an extension of florets. The rest of the trees mostly haven't reached stage 1 yet, but there are green buds on many of them. Using the indicator tree, the Park Service predicts the trees will reach peak bloom between March 23rd and the 26th. It's unknown why the indicator tree is ahead of the rest of the trees.
Everybody needs an indicator tree.
Yeah, right.
We need one at KSAT.
I could use a few in different areas.
Maybe Caskey's our indicator tree.
Oh, look out.
He's our forecaster. We'll be right back.
Oh, baby, the countdown is on. 38 days until the total solar eclipse. You know, the partial solar eclipse can be seen up to 3,000 miles away from the path of totality. Totality, of course, when the moon completely blocks out the sun. That's when you get twilight conditions for a period of time, which will last around just over 4 minutes in parts of the hill country. Pretty rowdy stuff. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a good day, good coverage.
A rowdy eclipse. Only he would.
Is there any other kind?
No, of
Yeah.
course not.
See you at 10.